Day 76 of lockdown, and look, if you'll allow me to get extremely petty for a moment, there's an issue I would like to share with you. So last week I submitted the final edit of my new book, Who Am I and Why Do I Matter? I'm very excited about it. I hope that you love it, but that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is one little editorial correction that just broke my heart a little bit every time I saw it. Now, to be clear, I am not blaming my editor here. Rachel, you are wonderful. This is not about you. And in fact, every single editor that I have ever worked with has agreed to disagree with me about this. So what is this thing that pains me so deeply? What is this thing that makes me die inside just a little bit every time I see it? It's this: changing okay, O-K-A-Y, to okay, okay. It makes no sense. I know there are a bunch of ways to spell the word. Okay. But of all the ways we could have collectively decided was the correct way to spell this word in print, lowercase o, lowercase k, it's nonsense. It makes no sense. And look, part of the issue here is that no one can quite agree on where this word came from in the first place. Wikipedia titles their article for this word uppercase O, uppercase K. Spelling variations include okay. And according to the article, the origin that is like the most commonly accepted is that okay comes from an intentional misspelling of all correct. Apparently this was a bit of a fad back in the day, these intentional misspellings, and so for whatever reason, all correct stuck, and that's how we landed with okay. But if that's the case, then spell it uppercase O, uppercase K. Fine, good. That's what we do with initialisms. Are you okay day? They get it. Capital O, capital K. Fine. If it's an initialism, if it stands for something, capital O, capital K, done. But surely by this point in the history of the world, we have made the transition from okay being an initialism to being a word. Like, no one, if they're asking, hey, are you okay, are asking, hey, are you all correct? It's not what we mean. It's not what the word means anymore. And so, if it's a word, it's gotta obey the rules of words. If you want to spell it lowercase o, lowercase k, you've got to pronounce it ok. That's how words work. What other actual word do you pronounce by saying all of the letters? That's not how talking works. You know what spelling does work? O-K-A-Y. How do you pronounce that? Okay. Either we buy into this ancient etymology of it being an initialism, in which case, fine, sure, spell it okay, but capital O, capital K. Or we admit that when we say okay, we are all just using it as a single word, in which case, spell it O-K-A-Y, or spell it little o, little k, and pronounce it ok from now on. Those are the options. Why am I so fired up about this? I don't know. There is no good reason. I am aware that this is a massive overreaction, but it doesn't make sense. And just to reiterate, this is not on my editor. She is wonderful. She knows so much more about how you should spell words than I do. This is not Rachel's fault. This is society's fault. In fact, I have just remembered that kind, generous Rachel actually allowed me to spell it O-K-A-Y in this book. I just forgot to ask again for the Big Questions books. And now this new book, it's number 4 in a series. We can't go changing it from OK to O-K-A-Y now. That's even more inconsistent. Anyway, that's all. That's the whole video. In my heart, I want to spell okay how I want to spell it. O-K-A-Y. It just makes sense. Okay? Okay.